Hello. I didn't want to make this video again. Originally, the third video about Vii Omega was for me, and my final time talking about him. I thought my tournament was a one-time thing, and it only happened in like 2018, and I didn't think that much until about very recently, when I got into the Cloud Palace logs, and as stated as where DoodleTones and other people allowed behavior there. So to come find out, from 2018, I found conversations of Vii Omega, the person who screamed at me as a child, me on a live stream for about 7 minutes. I found him venting about me in chats about a child, aka me. I also had discovered some very alarming things. This is where we found out Doodle sent porn to a minor. Those minors being Joni Rue, who was 17, and Lunatic the Game, who was 15. Doodle also shared a link to what Halo sent, which they themselves considered CP or CSEM, and shared it with a bunch of fucking children. By the way, Doodle played a small part into how I got bullied on the internet, and I'm kind of glad that I'm now an adult and I can finally recognize how fucking awful I was treated during my time in 2018. Not only that, but the fact that people had caused me to push me away from the community is another thing of its own. So, here is me again talking about my childhood trauma. Again. So, context. For those who don't know about me, hi, I was a part of the SEC during 2018 and 2023. I'm still a part of it today. Well, yes, it's been like a couple of months since I joined the SEC, damn. Like, damn, girl, I've been here, wow. Sorry, off topic. As I stated in my first video about Vii Omega, I knew Vii Omega when I was 11 to 13. I wish I knew everything about him, but I didn't. I didn't know that I was going to be screamed at as a child. I didn't know that I was going to have that memory stuck with me until I got older. And that's so sad. I was 12 years old. The man was 19 years old having a beef with a child. Me. So why am I making a follow-up video? Because I recently rediscovered, and I also wanted to answer some questions, because there was one thing that I really wanted to answer, and of why V got away with what he did. I will put it bluntly. So this is a comment I do want to address. This was on my video about Vii Omega, the third video. So, editor, put the fucking comment up. Given the way they treated Akumi for his misgendering, the fact that V got away with treating you like this as long as he says a lot about the SEC's biases. To answer bluntly, the SEC was so much more conservative or in its edgy phase during 2016 to 2019, which is why Vii Omega thrived in that space and why the space was a high for things like this. But anyway, let me get to the real thing, which is how I found a lot worse shit. And it's going to be a ride. I'm so sorry. So, I'm going to talk about the logs that Vii Omega and DoodleTones and how I got to them. So, the reason why I'm in the Cloud Palace is to log the horrendous shit that happened in these logs. I asked Lyle if I could look through the Cloud Palace because I wanted to log. And then I decided to get moderator permission in those logs. I was curious if there was more, and yes, there was unfortunately more. I'm going to link the first conversation. Well, I'm going to share a video that y'all will have to hear my editing or like my video. Anyway, yeah, that's specifically about me. And I'm just going to talk about the people more or less in the conversation. This was the same day as DoodleTones' live stream. The people below this conversation are, and their ages at the time, DoodleTones, 21 years old, Lunatic, 15 years old, Slayer, 16 years old, Joni Rue, 17 years old, Vii Omega, 19 years old, Dulsmic, 23 years old, and Rachel Mills, or Ray Kohai, 20 years old. So here's a conversation they had about me. And yes, V is not normal in this conversation. At all. Or like ever in these logs. Because while I was reading these logs, V was winning I am not normal was winning the I am not normal competition. So take that if you will. This is too funny.
I don't care, I swear I ain't. Stop talking about this. Okay, so you don't care that I'm calling you Benjamin, even though you go out of your way to say you're not him. I'm sorry, mister, I'm only trans in the commentaries. I don't buy that. You know what? I ain't, because reasons. One, it's mostly, pointless drama that was supposed to be there, and two, I'm blocking by have a nice day. XD! This is all over me not wanting to join their cycle in the Doodle stream. To be perfectly honest, people need to take a bowl of Cheerios with Frosty/Benjamin. Honestly, you're right, Doodle. I get that they could be annoying, but they annoy me. But the thing is that Benjamin needs to know when to not continue on a thing that someone is already irritated with. I was direct. We all need to realize and just stand back and realize they're 12. And civil before. Isn't he 11? Are they? I have no idea. They told me they were 11 when I commentated on that. Point is, they're not even in their teens yet. He's annoying, but he's 11. I leave the Doodle stream, and the last thing I hear is, I'm squishy. The heck happened? Just because they're 11 doesn't mean I don't have the right to not get angry. There's a point, though, where you need to chill. I was legit direct and kind to them before. They went on and annoyed me, and didn't get to the point. And when they went on to already like the fuse that was already short with him, they tried to contact me randomly. I just never replied. They stopped talking then. When I told him no, I want to talk with friends and or people I knew, he ignored that and still basically bugged me about having me join this call. That got me irritated even more so because I showed that I really didn't care about his situation of the calls. Again, I get that, but they're 11. Just block them if you have to. They have been bugging me on months on end, and yeah, I don't like blocking people. Dan Stein and Pico were both really obnoxious. What I did was block them. I get they're 11, but legit, do you not understand where I came from with this? Because I already had my tolerance of this kind of stuff worn down, and that was over a gradual period of time where I was still calm with them during the time, and this time they ended up pushing me to my limit. And even then, I wasn't that hard on him. Honestly, their age is really a weak excuse. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. What I'm saying is, who the fuck wasn't annoying at 11? Kids are dumb. Doesn't make it less annoying. What I'm saying is that when does it stop the fact that I'm reasonably irritated? No, but you need to understand and not go off the rails with them to yell at them on a public live stream because they exist. It's not because they exist, it's because of what they were doing and what they already did. You still need to understand when to chill. The only reason why I got frustrated was of the repeated questioning alone. Yeah, he needs to know how to talk with people too. It shouldn't matter how blunt it is. He's 11. He wouldn't instinctively know how to talk to people. He needs to understand that just because you're 11 doesn't mean that I will not get irritated with you. And even then, no means no. They didn't get that. They already got me irritated before that. And months beforehand, they were gradually wearing me down. You can still be irritated with kids. I'm not saying that you can't. I get irritated with kids. But if I'm in the supermarket, I'm not going to yell at someone screaming kid to shut up. Yeah, but the thing is that there's more variables than just that to take into account in this instance. He was trying to fucking tell others what to do and was already trying to cause shit. Somewhat, intentionally or not, that's what he was doing. It got me irritated more so when I saw that and with what was already said and done beforehand. It's just in that instance that's when I decided to put my foot down. Ugh. I feel like we're not gonna come to an impasse at this rate. I was fucking moderate with how I went about it. If I was being malicious about it, I'd have said worse shit that was on my mind. Now, does it mean that what I did was right? Honestly, it shouldn't matter how blunt you were. Not entirely, as long as you were correct. However, tell me that I'm wrong. And tell me if how I went about this was actually unreasonable with my thought process and how things went down. I'm not going to try to justify my actions. However, what I will say is I do not care how old someone is. When you are fucking wearing me down and get me irritated, you do that, just that. I basically gave him the idea. I didn't care. I didn't want to entertain it. What does he do? He continued it. Honestly, didn't see anything wrong with what you said. Then he went on to do more stupid things and got me reasonably frustrated. There's still a kid though. And I gave him the idea to back off. Does them being a kid make it less annoying? If the answer is no, they still went on to fucking go through with it and still went on to irritate me with the same thing I already said no to. I was kind to them before and I was civil. They continue to be immature because they're not mentally mature. And then eventually that happened. Then still, later on he was talking down to Jonah. It's not rocket science. Telling him what to do. Does that remove the issue? I was fucking moderate with how I went about it. That's what the fuck a kid is. Hell, did I even swear at him? Slayer, did I swear at him? Shrugs. Cause if I did, I think I was maybe not even calling him names. I saw that. Because I'm not like that. I don't think you cursed. Exactly. I wasn't even entirely talking down to him. I was just being strict. But you can't just expect him to be able to instantly get it. Yeah. Hence why I repeated myself towards him and said it in a simple way. He didn't listen. He fucking escalated it. And acted worse later on towards friends of mine. And you expect me not to say something and not to fucking do something? Hell, I should have been kinder towards the kid. And I would have if he did just that towards Joni. Thinking it through, this is kind of my fault if I hadn't have left that comment. However, he already got me in a bad ground with me. You need to understand that I'm not going to be all happy, joy 100% of the time. I'm not saying you are. Yeah. Johnny Ree, what comment did you leave? But you're acting like that me having an understandable small burst, keyword being small outburst, is essentially me being a fucking awful person. No, you guys think me yelling at a kid was a fucking horrid thing. All because they're 11. When I was being strict and to the point. I'm not saying that. I agree with V on this. My tone was a bit bad, sure, but fucking prove me wrong. I don't recall saying it. Tell me where I was coming from was wrong, or what I was saying. Give me that and I'll apologize. I agree with Sketch 100% on this. Left a comment telling Benjamin to be just quiet after he kept repeating the same question, Kirby Star Warrior. I don't fucking care if you're 11 to 50. I'll give you my mind accordingly. Just because they're 11 doesn't make his issues go away or make it any better. What I have to say and how I go about it. Therefore, it doesn't make him wrong. I will fucking swear not to towards the kid, calling them names. That's the only time I draw the line personally. I didn't call them a name from what I remember. Sizzy DoodleTones, I take it that Doodle Stream's gonna go unlisted. I remember getting angry at them and telling them essentially they have much as power as Jonah. Private. And stop telling people what to do. No chance in hell am I leaving that garbage up. Why? Honestly, that's really petty. Did you see the last hour? Yeah, I was there. Oh. Wait. The last hour, like... I thought you were talking about what happened with Sket. Benjamin and Call hour. The stream was an utter train wreck because people have to have moral superiority over someone who is 11. I wasn't trying to do that. I was just irritated with what he was doing. If you're talking about me, no, I wasn't doing that. I was putting out to him my issues right then and there and what he should be doing. What I'm saying is that children, especially 11-year-olds, aren't mature or always able to understand how to alter their behavior. There's a disconnect between you, an 18-year-old, and a child. You're not awful. You can't just expect them to instantly abide. There could have been a better way to go about it. That is what I meant. You think? It doesn't make the issue go away. I can understand what you're saying, but even then, when I already politely tell them no, and then moderately to then go to bit harsh, and then to keep up with going with other things, where he was being worse than previously, you think that I'm not going to say nothing? Again, I would have went about it better, yes, but even then, you thinking that I'm in the wrong with how I went about it alone is really something I'm not entirely understanding. Maybe it was how I was raised as a child, but you can't expect people to be all, sweetie, don't do that all the time, especially with what he was doing and what he already did. Lol, maybe you should have said nothing. That's why I was being as harsh as I was. That's a really dumb argument. Me? No, to Rachel. Implying that what was my argument was, but sure, lol. Rachel, I already have said nothing to him with things before. On a serious note, if we don't tell him no, he will keep going. Before entering the call, What was the worst thing he was doing? Okay, first he ended up trying to bug me to join his cycle, hinting at it. But basically told him no. I didn't care if he has an empty slot in his call. He asked again. I told him no. I wanted to be with friends and people I knew, and that I don't care. Again, then he tried saying that he does and that he has an open slot. Wait, was this today? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Like, this is an hour ago, pretty much. Like an hour, 2 hours ago, still. I pretty much told him, are you dense? I already have told you no. He persisted. Then I got a bit hard on him and told him, I already said no. And he ended up trying to talk down to me. And then tried telling me not to say that he was Benjamin. Even though he was, as seen on that stream. And then he ended up blocking me. Thereafter, I basically made a light jab at him with his previous stupidity before, saying that he was only trans in commenters. Then, later on, he started being a little annoying. I said nothing for a good while. I didn't say anything. He and Joni slightly had a back and forth, which was gradually irritating me, seeing Frosty was kind of talking down to Joni too. I was saying nothing. I was doing nothing. Then he told Jonah to stop talking, essentially, and let others get a chance to talk. Then that's when I kind of got a little mad and started giving him a little bit of a scold. People got into my case just for that. And not what I was saying. You guys are just trying to justify bad behavior because of his age alone. But your age doesn't make you immune. That's not what Doodle is okay. No one said that Frosty was justified because he's 11. That's not, then why bring it up? Because while it doesn't justify it, yeah, that's kind of what was going on considering the only defense. It is annoyed. Maybe here's an idea, fucker. When addressing 11-year-old, maybe don't act like an 11-year-old. First off, I wasn't calling you names. Guys, let's keep this civil. Entire thing is just that you keep yourself chill and you don't listen what you're saying. Handling it poorly, first off, is all you're being criticized for. Yeah, I said that. However, what you're saying is valid against Frosty. What I'm saying is that you should show me what I was saying was incorrect. But just because you're harsh, no one was saying you were being incorrect. Doesn't mean that much. Guys, let's chill out. Seriously, if we keep this civil, we should understand things better. Show me if what I was saying was wrong. Then I'll gladly apologize. Considering that I was actually very light, considering that they had to get progressively irritated with them for months. And then they were not only getting me irritated with things against me, but towards friends too. I get more irritated with when things are directed at friends and not me. I'm taking Sketch's side. When I saw Benjamin being a fucking twat for brains towards Jonah after being such towards me, I ended up getting reasonably upset. You guys are looking at the actions, not the circumstances. But fucking tell me that I was being irrational when you weren't looking into his behaviors. I'm not going to be told that what I was doing was wrong until I have someone tell me that my reaction during the circumstances is challenged. Your age alone doesn't do shit. You know, what if I continue having this conversation? I'm just gonna get angry. I'm too tired for this shit right now. Guys, I'm begging. Can we just come to an impasse on this? Just leave this whole thing behind us? Hell, I was too angry about it. I was more harsh than I usually would have been because I was already worn down. Sure, I'll drop it. I'll drop it for now because it's whatever. Yeah, I'll drop it. I need to start work now, so I'll be on this afternoon. I still don't think that age protects you from being harsh, but yeah, I'll drop it. I just don't want people to think I'm such a bad person because I had an understandably angry reaction towards what someone was doing. Only seeing this as an age thing, and that's it. That's why I'm honestly getting irritated with this as a whole. Sketch, drop it. Oh my fucking god. We were told to drop it, so we are dropping it. He's just trying to explain. But you can't say I'll drop it and then not. Look, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say what I'm kind of upset about it. If I was trying to continue, I'd be addressing what you were saying. Whatever, I'm gonna go chill with Doodle.
So, remember when I said V shit talked about me? Yeah, I came to find out that it was a lot worse.
Okay, so Rosalie is Benjamin. Oh, that explains a lot, actually. Saw that from a mile away. So I didn't know Benjamin could make robot noises. It sounds crazy, but if you saw the video, you'll know what I'm actually talking about. Either he's making the noises because he's a robot or he ate a toaster. I'll let you guys decide. Look at the wrist. Frosty Bomb is Benjamin. From his Frosty Bomb account, from his Benjamin account. How do we know? The exact same bracelet / wash from their live action videos, from streams and apology video. Otherwise, it's simply a different color. This is from the second image I made. What's on their wrist? What's on their wrist? Oh fuck. Busted. Also, why do you call the video Sherlock Perry? I don't fucking know, like... could be a possibility. Just like one little note, I am covering Benjamin. Because I want to make a point as to what Benjamin should do. Because making various alt accounts trying to hide is the worst thing when you fuck up. He's still young. All he really needs to do is apologize and clean up his act. That's literally all he needs to fucking do. I swear he's becoming the new Blink. My first point proving how Benjamin is this account is kind of funny. Oh, oh, so Rosaling, or shall I call you by your proper name? Frosty Bomb or Benjamin Perry? Yeah, for those who are unaware, Benjamin Perry is a child commentator who ended up joining the commentary community and suddenly disappeared after an accusation of him claiming to be only trans in commentaries arose. Just suddenly have Frosty Bomb appear out of nowhere and then left after accusations and confirmation of them being Benjamin came up after I ended up shouting at them wrongfully on a DoodleTones stream, which is now private. Pretty much just appeared from the internet after no one was giving him any more attention. Although what's wrong, a lot of people are going to ask me, how do you know this is Benjamin Perry? Simple, the voice and the wristband or the watch on their left wrist, it's the same shape and color as is one from the Frosty Bomb account I was able to find from the previous Benjamin Perry account, which has happened to be the same color as well along with this. Another thing that I noticed, Benjamin, for whatever the fuck stupid reason, think this is a good idea to cover. First point in the video is 4 paragraphs long, because I hit like tons of issue from the start. Oof. Also, you better make a robot joke whenever he makes those robot noises.
What I had found out was that I was being shit-talked and being investigated, very much Joe Rogan style, by Vii Omega in the Cloud Palace. By the way, I was harassed over this shit, and I was 12. This man was 19 years old. Grown man. By the way, he had like more fucking problems with a child. That's what we're talking about. This man had more problems with a child than an adult, and acted like a child. That's crazier. And to prove the claim that I was harassed over this, this is what I mean.
Why won't you stuck up to the fact that you are Benjamin Perry and stop trying to hide your identity like a pathetic little coward you are?
Again, I was 12 years old and these grown-ass adults bullied a child because why not? And even in this conversation, I don't think he was ever sorry to me because of what he was saying about how I was a twat in this fucking conversation with me with Doodle. I also decided to go for Doodles and Joni's DMs with Vii Omega. I found a lot worse shit of mentions of me and very disgusting things being talked about me.
Hey, so I'm being informed that the same issues I brought up to you are continuing to happen. If it's the Benjamin Perry thing, I wasn't being harsh on the kid. Even talk to Ryan or some of the others that were in the RLL server. Ray is the one informing me about this. Wrong one, Mr. Ryan, like Mr. Ryan 123. I was being calm, trying to calm Benjamin down, and what happened was, it was because Benjamin was actually trans-identifying as someone else. I was the one who actually had to resolve it in a good way. If people are going to focus on how Benjamin was originally kind of being freaked out by others when I was telling them everything was okay, how am I really being a bad guy when I was the one who ended up being the person who ended up calming down the situation and ending it? Hell, UTD was there if you want to ask him. I'm checking Rusha's chat right now. I am still in it. Okay, like I even apologized about if I was being too bad, and yet I clearly wasn't my intention. If you saw how I was going about it, I was trying to have her originally admit to lying and then thought about something for a second and then we came to a resolve. The issue was I was being harsh towards children, giving them unfair treatment and a tone when they didn't deserve it. This being too hard on them. Alright, I'll back off. Read up on chat, and yeah, no, you're fine. Wasn't aware it was in Aki's chat until you told me. Now please tell Ray to calm herself. Legit, like, I am actually trying to work on myself. I understand I am likely hard to work, with, but I'm trying. He only brought it to my attention. Jiggly was venting about it in Ray's chat, and Ray brought up how it sounded similar to the last Frosty situation. So she was upset trying to resolve something. Like, if I did it in a bad way, I would like to know. Jiggly was more upset about drama of it all. Because it was drama? The rules of Akrolov server say no drama! Yeah, that was not really drama though, if you think about it. Considering that it was trying to calm down a situation that already got out of hand, Benjamin joined in with another account. Had stuff freak her out. They quit this CC with that account, then came in as Frosty Bomb, already fuming, unless I am remembering it wrong. I think it's just server rules say no drama, and this seemed like drama to an outsider. I guess that's fair. Regardless, you're fine at the end of the day. Although, I am kinda unsure as to why people were saying I was so awful. If it was just continuing and try to resolve the issue, maybe? Like, I'm actually trying to figure this out and I cannot actually think of any reason why. I am a bad guy, cause I dared to resolve a bit of a problem that was going on with a kid who has been making it harder for themselves. Hell, I would personally agree with the idea that they are trans. But I gave them the benefit of doubt. And dropped it. I mean, I would too, but we know how I feel about this already. Hasn't changed since Emma, Suf Livy, and whoever else did it. Pigment Planet? I guess also. Huh? I don't really believe Pigment Planet when they say they're trans either. Already. Like, I gave Benjamin the benefit of the doubt and dropped it. What more do people want from me? I don't know. Again, you're fine. Jiggly just didn't like the drama. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm just happy that this time I wasn't actually in the wrong.
Again, Vii Omega did not care about me and only wanted to control a narrative because I guess he's insecure. I guess. Because we can't be normal, apparently. While I did defend Doodle for a long time, I'm looking back at Doodle's DMs with V and I'm to find out that she never really cared for me when I was berated as a fucking child is kind of crazy.
Yo, you know that troll account, the Neo Alt CC? Yeah. Benjamin actually believes you and Darkseid are the same person. XD! That's not the best part. He confused Darkseid with DSP? XD. That's kind of fucking rich. I know, it's fucking golden. Oh my fucking god, yes, Benjamin Harry has to make a commentary now.
Again, Susie allowed this and allowed me to be bullied. And to find out from one of my idols, back in the day, had bullied me as a child makes me feel so sad. I never even got, like, actual apologies from anyone, except for, like, 2 people. And those 2 people were Blaze the Movie Fan and Megatron DBZ. Now, I don't know if I want to say that DoodleTones did treat me terribly, however, she was not caring for me and only cared for children when she felt like it. I also decided to go through Joni's vlogs, and holy shit, they're even worse, and I'm kind of uncomfortable reading this shit because it sounds like a bit of projection. So I'm just gonna read this out loud, and Joni was 17, still a minor, and I'm not gonna put any blame on her because this was not her fault. This was V's fault because that was a grown man, adult. So here's the conversation about me in 2018. Here we fucking go.
That whole thing got out of control. Yeah, but even then, they're expecting me to be kind towards someone who was already being irrationally uncivil. I was direct and to the point with what I said and how I said it. Yeah, I was a little hard on the kid, and you know what? Until someone can point to me as to how my reaction under the circumstances were unreasonable, I won't fucking say sorry. Your age alone isn't something to use as your main basis. Your age just means, oh, you gotta repeat it a bit or be a bit less detailed with how you talk. I told him I wanted to be with friends and people I know. He didn't listen. And then he got irritated with me already. And then later on, started to get heated with you. I said nothing the entire time. I was progressively even getting more irritated with. And I was just that I have said nothing. But when he started telling me what to do, that's where I draw the line. Am I really being unreasonable here? Yeah, I had a bit of a scold, maybe I was a bit harsh. But they think strict means yelling. Was I yelling? Because I don't remember if I was. Yelling, yes, yes, a bit. However, you never cursed. Like, it wasn't anger, I don't think. I think it was, like, being strict. Like, if people saw me legitimately angry, I would have actually scared people. Because I get really fucking nasty when I get mad. Legit, because you raised your voice and had a bit of a tone. Doesn't really mean much. People expect me to be kinder towards people, someone younger, because a child. When I get more sassy towards adult who did less. Hell, I even gave you an attitude in my calm on you, and I was a legit dick. And hell, people thought I was a little bit hard in my final thoughts. But it was, like, likely for the better. Look, what I want to say here is that if you're going to morally preach to me that I'm being irrational when it comes to me, this entire thing where I was apparently acting like an 11-year-old when they're doing the same thing too, and not even telling me what I was saying was wrong or how I said it was wrong, but just because they're 11. I legit cannot fucking stand here and apologize or something. I feel like I don't need to. Like, maybe I'm being irrational with the entire thing. I'm open to that. 100%. However, I want someone to show me where I went wrong other than it's their age. As far I'm concerned, Benjamin shouldn't be anywhere on the internet in regards to social media here. If you want to get to my case with being strict with an 11-year-old, someone who barely knows anything about anything, telling people what to do, and constantly fucking learn where to preach. Honestly, the whole situation gave me a headache. I don't like seeing friends fight. I can understand that. But even then, like, where did I go wrong? Because all I'm getting is you don't do that to an 11-year-old when, what? All I did was raise my voice, give him a bit of a tone, and told him just to treat others how you want to be treated? If he wants to be taken around seriously here, isn't that basically what I told him? Yes. Oh no, the horror! Hey, if I was saying leave the internet or fucking shut your dirty little fucking mouth, or something like that, like, if I was really hard on him, I'd get where they were coming from. Like, how? Susie wasn't even private in the video just because of my freak out on Frosty Bomb. I still feel this is partially my fault. My question was the tipping point. What did you even ask? For Benjamin to be quiet was getting tired of him asking about what call would switch. You already told him what was going to happen, and you already asked him to be quiet about that. Well, I told him to be quiet in general. It made it seem as if I wasn't referring to that in Pacific, I think. Well, he was dominating the chat too, still, like, he was overall being annoying, and was probably irritating a lot of people in there. Like, was I even that harsh? Like, I talked to him, like I talked to anyone else that was getting on my nerves, or was I too hard on him? I can honestly say you were a bit harsh, but not to levels of people that are making it out to be. Honestly, it's the best to forget this ever happened. Better for everyone. Legit, I'm going to get angry about this if the entire CC will try demonizing me for this. Because legit, if you want me to be fucking lighten up on the certain individuals, there's no point in me being here. I'm not here to hand out hugs and kisses all the time. If you get on someone's nerves, expect them to actually say shit. Like, all three, Susie, Ray, and Doll are saying I wasn't wrong with what I was saying, but instead only looks like they were using their own opinions to try and make me feel like a bad person. At least that's how they're coming off. I doubt the entire CC would get you on your case for this. And if they do, well, I know what I'm doing. Anyway, let's change the topic. We're getting too negative. What would you even do, XD? Oh, if the whole SCC got on your case, easy twit longer. Though I doubt it'll come to that. Oh yeah, cause that'll definitely make the CC realize they're being irrational. Or videos. Forget to add that. They're 11. I thought that we would always say that it didn't matter how old someone is. Also, Susie gave a tone towards Perry and his friends, so I guess it's fine if she does it. If you're going to talk circumstances in that instance, my circumstance probably requested a bigger response. Case being, if something of that sort happens, I'll be here to defend you.
So let me dissect this. If you explain to me to be kind to someone who's already being irrationally uncivil and it's a child. Also, this man, the way this man talks about me is super fucking gross as well. To quote him from what he said about a child, hey, if I was saying leave the internet or shut your fucking dirty mouth, little mouth, or something like that, I was really hard on him, I get where he would be coming from. This is about a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old me. A child. I'm sorry, V. What the fuck do you mean, dirty little fucking mouth? Like, you sound predatory and gross. And not only that, but trying to find my information when I was a 12-year-old is also disgusting. This is even worse than what I thought it was. This is why I didn't make any commentary videos until I got older and much more mature, because of things like this. Because of the fact that when I was a minor, like, this could have happened to me. Like, I could have been doxxed by people who wanted me hurt. And that makes me so sad. And to make matters worse, I think this man is still on the internet preying on kids. And that scares me. When I was looking in the clubhouse, I realized it wasn't just V or like V talking shit. It was kind of like everyone hated me because I made bad videos and also bad scripts. It's like you literally did the exact same thing, but like 10 times worse. And then wondered why I left in the FCC in 2018 and explain that. I don't even get it, because I realized a lot of the people around me were toxic and not good people to be around with. That's why I left, because I never made any friends there because I was alone 10% of the time. And even when I came back, I felt like I had no one on my back, which is so sad because people like this were just allowed to roam free and get away with so much shit. Which is why I left. And the amount of shit that I had to deal with was so awful. And I'm kind of glad that now the SEC is trying to rat these people out. These types of people out. Look out, because we're trying to make it more welcoming. I am sad that I did not have the luxury when I was ousted in 2018 and 2023 because no one took children seriously because children were such easy targets. So my final conclusion to all of this is, wow, what the fuck? I'm done. I'm not going to make this too much about what happened, but I'm not surprised either. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.